Well, first of all, we have to take stock that indeed Turkey is going backwards in terms of the rule of law and basic democracy, respect for human rights under Erdogan. And we have to acknowledge this is totally against the undertakings of Turkey in the context of its process of negotiating accession to the EU, and namely the Copenhagen criteria. We have to say it clearly. We have to say that Turkey, by the hand of the Erdogan regime, is closing the door on the EU, and not the other way around, as Mr. Erdogan tries to sell it to the Turkish people. And of course, I'm very worried with that, because this is the result of a process of repression in Turkey. And I know there are lots of brave Turkish citizens who really understood the negotiations with Europe as a major step towards, indeed, a democratic Turkey, and a Turkey that respects human rights. That said, geography doesn't change. Turkey, going democratic or going the undemocratic way, as it is the case now under the hand of Erdogan, is still a neighbor of the EU. We have to keep talking. We have to keep relations in every field, but that doesn't mean patting Mr. Erdogan on the back, especially when we see glaring violations of human rights. We have to say the truth. We have to say that he's violating human rights. We have to say that he's violating democratic obligations, that he's violating conventions of the Council of Europe, of the United Nations, that Turkey is bound to respect. We have to say the truth, but we have to keep dialogue. And of course, we have to be selective about the kind of relationship we establish with Turkey under this current situation of a Turkey backsliding on democracy and the rule of the law and human rights. I totally disagree that EU has entered a deal like the one that was negotiated by Mrs. Merkel with Mr. Erdogan, and that the EU rubber-stamped on the threading on the lives of refugees and asylum seekers. I think this kind of deal is totally immoral, illegal, ineffective. This is exactly an example of what the EU should not do. But of course, I'm not advocating that we live in an interdependent world. We need to devise strategies to help enable those that in Turkey continue to fight for the rule of law, for democracy, and for human rights. And that might entail, all sorts of economic and other relations, cultural, people-to-people exchanges. In my opinion, it's not by isolating Turkey that we're going to really enable those who want a democratic Turkey that respects the rule of law and human rights. It's by engaging, but we have to be selective and smart, and our objective should be engage to support those who still fight for democracy and who are now enduring the repression and the violations of human rights committed by the regime of Mr. Erdogan.
Well, in my opinion, there is not really any clear prospect to continue accession talks with Turkey. I'm of the firm opinion that it would be better for us to have a privileged partnership with Turkey than an EU membership, and I don't really think an EU membership is on the table anymore. So for our sakes and for the Turks, it's better just to eliminate the process now.